Hi, I'm Jules, your practical mystic, empowering you to walk your mystical path with practical feet. A few weeks ago, I did a talk on symbols and what's working you right now, choosing the symbols in your life. This is part two of that same topic. Symbols, we could dive into it forever. We could talk. I love talking symbols, but I'll just take a few minutes here today to show you around my own personal home, just to illustrate some of the points about how powerful symbols are, how they can be used to align with your highest good, and so that you can align with your life dream and bring your gifts and talents out to the world, because that's what the world needs, specifically you and your own gifts and talents. So a few things about symbols. First of all, I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm not even going to tell you what symbols mean or what particular symbols mean. This is not a judgment. I'm just showing you how they've worked in my life, and you get to choose how you want to work them or not in your own life. And I just know from my own experience that they can be a very powerful tool in that way, to either help us or hinder us in being the very best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. So here goes. I'm going to show you three of the most common places where symbols collect. Some folks like to call these altars, and some folks like to call these heartbeats of the home. Whatever it is, it could be a focal point, whatever it is. Many of us already have them. You probably already have tons of symbols on them and you just didn't even know it, okay? Now, what's so important about the home? This is the place where you create. This is the place where you hopefully can drop your guards and be totally yourself. You nurture yourself here with food and love from family, and this is where you disrobe and you get literally naked with yourself and your emotions and your loved ones. And so this is the place where it all starts. This is your sacred home, and I'm inviting you in to show you my sacred home and some of my own sacred altars. It is worth knowing I don't live alone. I live with a 4.5-year-old, and for those of you who are parents as well, you might know that living with a 4.5-year-old, you have very few sacred spaces. But I found very practical ways to work them into our lives so that this is a space that my little guy and I could use together to achieve our own goals and life dreams, family dreams. And nothing's really off limits for my little guy. I've made them all very interactive. They're living, breathing parts of our family in and of themselves. So, without further ado, 3 very common places. You're gonna laugh at the first one because you might go, oh yeah, that's right, I have one of those too. And it's called a refrigerator. Here we go. Now, some of the newer fridges, I don't know why, you can't put magnets on them, but whatever. I've used some blue tack on some fridges before, but these are all magnetic here. What I have here are pictures. These are just family photos, friends, family who love us. They all love us unconditionally. Some of these Christmas cards are 3 years old because, these people still love us. And I like to be reminded of that every day. I like to be reminded of all the people near and far who are cheering us on, whether they're here, whether we hear from them every day or not. Also on here I have words of wisdom that I actually do align with. They're not just something fancy that I found in a magazine or saw in a movie or on a TV show. These are something that actually resonate with me, okay? So like peace on earth. I really want to support Marley in his schooling now, so they gave us a little flyer, and these are some really great things that I try to do every day to help support him in being his own best self. Now the second half of the refrigerator, the bottom half, and every fridge is totally different, so with the bottom half is Marley's half, all right? So what has he chosen to have here? He's chosen to have dinosaurs, and he's chosen to have these little magnets that have goddess and god figures from Hindu religion. other photographs of family. Here's one of him and a sweet family member that we have. Marley is super proud to be a little Aussie, so he's collected all the Australian magnets down here because he loves that. He's learning how to recycle in school, so he grabbed this piece of paper and put it down here. He can't read, but he can see the symbols on there and work that into his home. This is sacred space for my 4.5-year-old, and he interacts with it daily. He puts new things here, he moves things to other spaces, he moves things up from the top. This is totally fine, and who am I to say what is sacred to a 4.5-year-old, okay? So that's how we've worked that into our world. Another sacred space that a lot of us have, whether it be here in the home or at work, is our desk, okay? Now I have my computer. I have this amazing book by my mentor, Rhonda Swan, and she wrote this all about skills are cheap, but passion is priceless. And this is what is working me right now. This is what my life dream is coming into fruition. My passion, I'm bringing out into the world. So that's why that's there. And I also have symbols of travel and creativity and other things, family members who I'm really reminded of. This is probably the most important. This is a picture of my little guy and myself, and that is literally the reason I do things every single day. The reason I do what I do is that picture right there. That beautiful little guy and our relationship. He's the reason, and I remind myself of that every day. All right, so I also made a dream board. This is a few years old, but it still applies, and those are really easy to make. We love feathers in our home. This is my desk. It has some clutter on it because I like things. I like things to remind myself, but also all those things I've purposely chosen to be practical, like my headphones, and to work with me, to support me in my life dream, to remind me of who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing for the moments that get tough, because moments get tough. It happens. I also am very real. We got a cluttered place for junk. Things just end up here. It's workable. I know kind of where things are. I got a junk drawer in the kitchen for the same thing, and even one in the bathroom for the same thing. So I like things to be a little bit more organized. And this is where, hi Bug. Yeah, I'm talking to the world. Did you say hello? Hi. He's my little guy. Anyhow, this is this is where magic happens, creativity. Okay, I'll show you one other place here, and this is, a lot of folks have like a mantle, fireplace or a mantle in their home. We don't. We're in an apartment, and for some folks in the world, fireplaces are just not practical. They're not in their home. They're not in every place, but that's an easy place. We've used the top of a bookshelf. Now this is a place that's been interactive since Marley was 2.5, and everything here is totally kid friendly. Now I don't light the candle typically when he's around, but everything else here, it's fine if he moves or plays with. We'll find little cars here, trucks and things that are sacred to him at the time. His very favorite, whatever it is at the time. The other day we found some beautiful rocks on the beach, and Marley decided to put them here because this is our special space. We have family photographs, artwork that I did in ceremony a long time ago. Feathers! We love feathers in our house, don't we, buddy? We love feathers. Some of you from down under might recognize some of those feathers there. More family photographs. Anyhow, this is our sacred space. Once again, reflecting what it is that we hold dear in our hearts, the things that we value, and the places that we want to go. Yeah, one of those is a little peacock feather. the places where we want to go, and also where we want our soul to align. And this is for both him and myself. I have another one in the bedroom for on top of my own dresser, armoire. That's my space, and I put the things that I adorn myself with there, how I make myself beautiful, sacred things that I've made in ceremony and vision quest to remind me of the intentions that I've put out there into the world. So all of these things are working with me and aligning. Now, it used to be that I put things like like bills on my refrigerator, and like to-do lists. When I lived with a partner, it was like honey-do lists. And thinking back, when I look at those things, now I don't want to ignore that a bill is due, but when I would look at them every day, I would feel a feeling of lack. I would feel stress. I would feel sometimes a little panicky, which is like the advanced stress, because money felt really tight. And it was also an image of money and the things that were lacking in our lives. So I've consciously taken away those things. I don't ignore the bills. They're all electronic now anyways. You barely get any in the mail. But I do put them in a place where I will deal with them when the time comes. And the to-do lists, I still have a shopping list on one side of the fridge because it helps me organize. It helps me put a list out there of things that are desired. But the honey-do list, it went away with the honey. So you put things that make you feel good. If you're not sure how something's going to make you feel, maybe you have a gorgeous picture that's beautiful that you saw that somebody had in a magazine. It's just beautiful, but it just doesn't like feel to you, or you thought maybe your home might feel a particular way if you had that. Maybe that's not the piece for you. Anyhow, one other thing I'm going to show you, and that is when I lived a nomadic life for about 6 years, I didn't have a physical home. I lived various places, traveling and couch surfing, etc. What I did is I created a travel altar. I called it a travel altar. Lots of folks call it like a dream board, or a somebody had a beautiful name for it. I can't remember what it is right now. But anyhow, I did mine on a piece of paper this size. It was so small because I needed it to be very practical, something that fit into my backpack, and I just decorated it. And wherever I would go, if I was there one night, I might not do this. If I was there a couple nights, I would take it out and I just put it someplace, just put it someplace near where I was sleeping, depending on where it was. And I didn't do this at every place, but I did do this at many different places. And there it is. It's a touchstone away. Yes, bud?
Do you want that?
No, thank you. I will be with you in just a moment. Okay?
Do you want it over there?
I do. I want it right there. Thank you for asking. So that is an easy way to bring the symbols with you at home. What is it that you want to attract in your life, and how can you take those with you wherever you go, even if you don't have a refrigerator or a mantle or a desk? Another really easy place is the desktop on your computer. What is it, the picture that you have there? Is that a picture that reflects your good, true, and beautiful nature? Or is it a picture that was just kind of stock that doesn't really reflect what you want to bring out into the world? All these things matter because they're all things that we see every day, and we reflect what we see every day, and our soul wants to align with those things that we see every day. This, I will share. Marley's like, wait a second, that's from my wall. Do you know what this is? Do you remember?
Marley.
Yes, that's Marley's altar. Yeah.
Made of cardboard.
Yeah, it is. It's made of cardboard. I made that when was very uncertain about a home, And I made that while I was sitting and waiting to go into labor with you.
Labor? What is labor?
I was waiting for you to come out of my belly. Yeah. I was so excited, but I had to be patient and wait. So I made this dream board, and that is Marley's dream board, or his altar, his baby altar. Might be time for another one, huh? Yeah. Okay. So thank you for listening, and I hope that this hasn't been too boring. So I hope that it's been very helpful. We're going to talk a lot more about symbolism at another time. Please feel free to pop questions that you have down there. And I hope that this helps. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks. Bye.